Competitive gaming is very stressful, frustrating, and it makes me want to blow my fucking brains out. But for some reason, I always keep coming back to it. I don't think I've ever been addicted to any sort of game in my life besides competitive online games. League of Legends had me in a 3-year chokehold. Now Overwatch is grabbing my nuts and it just won't let go. It just doesn't make sense. Why? Why do I play these games so much if I genuinely don't have fun in them like 80% of the time? The 20% of the time where I get good teammates, you know, we're going crazy, you know, like perfect synergy. I want to nut everywhere, bro. It's actually like the best feeling in the world. And you know what the worst part of it is? Getting
How good is that dude?
I don't think there's anything more humiliating than getting diffed at a game you thought you were like amazing at. It's like me playing Valorant for the first time. I start tapping everybody's head like I'm tens in this bitch and suddenly hit Radiant in like 2 days, right? Motherfuckers would be eyeing me like, yo, he gotta be cheating or something. Motherfuckers have been playing this game since season 2. Hard stuck platinum. Obviously some eyebrows are gonna be raised. Growing up, I was never the FPS shooter type of gamer. I was mostly a single player Andy. Single player games were my favorite type of game. I never gave a fuck about online, playing with the homies. I never really cared about that shit because single player games offered the best experience and an amazing and compelling story. A lot of these games didn't really have a high skill ceiling. You know, you didn't really need to have crazy aim to be good at these games. They were very casual and there was no room for error, pretty much, unless you were just super ass at the game. And I'm not gonna lie, there are a couple of games I sucked ass at. You know the Kids Next Door game? Code something? I don't know, I can't remember, I put it on screen, but dude, this game was so hard. Now let's fast forward a literal decade. Gaming has completely changed. We have PC equipment, which gives the best response time and the best user experience. We have RAM that cost 600 USD, my nigga. Why is RAM so expensive now? Like, what the fuck is happening? Out of all the PC things to rise in prices, I never thought that it would be RAM. I guess the only people we can blame is Gen Alpha and the AI bros, because you guys have been watching all that AI stuff on YouTube and in YouTube shorts and shit and giving them the money to buy this RAM. So like, it's kind of your fault. Let's be real. And finally, we have competitive games just wiping out the gaming sphere. With We Love Fortnite, CSGO having the biggest player base on Steam. I don't know how this game has an average concurrent players of 100K or like 1 million or some shit. Like them Russian niggas. I don't know why you guys love this game so much. I genuinely don't know the joys of playing CSGO. It sounds more painful than Valorant. It's probably like more bearable because there's no like e-daters and like e-cringe and shit like that. It's just, I'm pretty sure when companies started seeing the rise of Call of Duty and how that franchise just could never die, they were like, yo, we're gonna do something similar to this. What does Call of Duty do so well? It has a voice chat. It has crossplay and also skins. You can't forget the fucking skins, bro. I'm looking at you, Marvel Rivals. Butt cheeks everywhere and Venom shaking ass, bro. Like, I don't understand this. What even happened to Venom? Why did you goonify Venom? This guy's supposed to be all evil and like, oh, I'ma eat you. But the only thing he's gonna eat is your fucking meat at this point because of how goonified he is, bro. Like, what is happening, bro? We can finally dive into the meat and bones and the grit of this video, which is getting diffed. When I say I've been diffed a handful of times and I just couldn't do anything at all. It was like I was getting backshots of doom and like my hands were tied. There was nothing I could do. I was powerless, bro. It doesn't matter if I was aiming pretty decently, like that team was better. You know, I would win my ones and then boom, backshots of doom again. Like, yes, king. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't do anything. And what really grinds my gears a lot in these FPS shooter games is that not all of them are new player friendly. For example, Apex Legends. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what Apex Legends is. At one point, it was one of the biggest online shooters, competitive games in the market, but then had a huge decline because it wasn't listening to their community and like every season just became super ass and all they wanted to do is make money. And it still has a pretty large pool of players, but you know, it wasn't as big as it used to be. But if you're a new player interested in this game, I'ma wish you the best of luck because this game is not new player friendly. First match you're gonna get into, you're gonna run into one of these niggas. Straight predator rank, an average of 9,000 lifetime kills or some shit. This is the type of champion you have to go up against as a new player, by the way. Like imagine it's your first time playing Apex and you go up against fucking Fade. Yeah, I'd uninstall that bitch instantly too. You know what I'm saying? I'm good off that. I'm going back to Stardew Valley and fucking The Sims 4, my nigga. Apex is a very complicated game with a lot of tech you have to master if you want to make it to the big leagues. You know, the big leagues. I'm talking the Predator movement tech. You have to learn like tap strafing, how to aim with different guns. And it's just such a hassle, bro. And on top of that, you have to deal with smoke.
Fucking hell, man, I'm finished.
Smurfing is completely common in every game now at this point. Not just Apex, but Overwatch, League of Legends. Almost every competitive game, you're gonna eventually run into a Smurf who's just gonna beat the fuck out of you and your team. And there's nothing you can do about it because you're just not at that skill level yet. You know, you're a gold player. Gold player is nothing against a Grandmaster Tracer or a GM Top 500 Hanzo. Or fucking Genji. Like seriously, what are you gonna do when you're not at that skill ceiling yet? You just have to take the back shots of doom and just say yes king. Because that's all you can do, bruh. You don't have the skills yet. Yo, there's nothing I hate more than a Farah Mercy. Just hitting direct rockets at you. Direct, bruh. The amount of pharmacies I've run into straight up smurfing and just diffing my entire team. 2 hit scans on my team. Losing to a Farah Mercy, bruh. No, but seriously, it's like never my fault every time I lose a game.